Alright, welcome to Citizen Survival Plan. Today we are looking at DNT Optics NVMD C200. This is a digital night vision device, and this is pretty much the first digital night vision device that I thought was good and worth the money. I've seen a couple others. I have never been a fan. So for me to like this is kind of telling how good it really is. I am used to Gen 2 and Gen 3 PVS 14s, and I enjoy using this device. So take that for what it is. And throughout the video, I'm going to roll a ton of clips of the footage we have on this thing. And people want to know, is it going to be as good as an analog PVS 14? And I'm going to tell you right now, no, probably not. But I will say it comes really close to my AGM Gen 2 Plus night vision as far as performance. You're going to see with Gen 2 analog units, when you get into really dark environments, you're just going to get a lot of fuzz, but you can still make out a picture. With this thing, you're just going to start losing the picture. Now, one thing that you need to understand about night vision is it can see IR light. So, digital night vision can see IR light. And DNT actually sent me one of their own lights, and this works really good for being an illuminator. And because this mounts on your rifle, you don't need to worry about active aiming. So active aiming when you are under helmet mounted night vision works best because it's really hard to get your eyepiece to see through a lens while this is mounted on your head. Getting your head down on the rifle is just more difficult. So that is the way DNT set this up, and it works really good just mounted on a rifle. You don't need to also incur the other cost of purchasing an IR illuminator and aimer. That is a big thing with digital night vision, is it's bringing the cost down all around. So the device is a fraction of the cost, and you also do not need to buy a very expensive IR illuminator. Like one of my HoloSuns, when I bought it a couple years ago, it was $600 or $700 just for the illuminator. With this DNT, I'll put the price of this up on the screen. This was kind of after they sent me this. They introduced this, and they wanted me to take a look at it. So, a really big pro to digital weapon-mounted night vision over an analog unit is these cannot take more recoil than a 5.56. So your standard AR-15 is all you're going to want to do an analog unit on. Digital weapon-mounted night vision is superior in the sense it can take way more recoil and it won't bother it. I'd have to look up what this is rated for, but I remember looking at it and I was like, okay, I could basically just put that on any one of my guns. It won't matter. I think you have to get up into 50 BMG and stuff before this is even going to start having any kind of issues. Another thing is, when you have a PVS 14 with one of their mounts, it doesn't flip to the side. So when things go light and you want to get your night vision out of your way because you're now using white light, that will flip right out of the way. And this is an extra add-on you have to purchase, but I think it's 100% worth it. If everyone start turning on white light, there's just no reason to use the night vision anymore, and you'd kick it right out of your way. Which brings me to a little bit of a con on DNT's actual IR light. So this is IR only, and you can see it's on, and my phone can pick up a little bit of IR, and you can see that. This is a Enforce light, and while DNT's light is very good, I have absolutely no issues with it in the IR, space. It's really a good IR light. The issue I have with it is when things go light, and you flip this out of the way, the light on my rifle, if you're using DNTs, it's IR only. And this is why I would like to use DNT's night vision with this. This is IR and it's white light. So, and it's done just by a switch. So they just missed the mark just a little bit with that. I wish that when they update this, that they put the white light and the IR mode on there. That's my thing. Maybe other people would be like, we'll just mount 2 flashlights. I don't prefer that, and I think that was a little bit of a miss on them. Again, a really good IR light, and I want to talk about that really quick. When you use this, and you are looking through a red dot behind this, and you're using a traditional hollow sun or even an HFXC SMS laser, it is too condensed. And the flood modes on this and the Enforce is what you're going to want to use. I'm going to roll some footage of that. Okay, here's another demo I want to do really quick. This is DNT's IR light. And you could see, I could see my nice red dot, nice and clear in there. Well, I'm going to throw on the HFXC. And this is the issue I was having with using a regular illuminator. My dot is like disappearing in there. If I go over something reflective, it's gone. But if I use the DNT one, it works really good because it's more of a flood light than it is this beam pattern. See how condensed that light is? This is what you normally want to be using, but with this optic, I see why DNT made their own flashlight. Look how clear all that is under their IR light. It really diffuses it and makes it nice and clean. I do not like using a traditional laser aimer with these. Traditional laser aiming modules really condense the light to like pinpoint because of they're really designed to be used with helmet mounted night vision and not this. So the wide flood of IR works a lot better. And again, that is the other thing. If you're used to regular analog night vision, it's the opposite with the digital, because remember, you're looking through your actual red dot and not active aiming with a laser aiming module. That is just some differences between analog and digital. Let's talk about some of the modes on this. It's got a couple different color modes. There's like green, black and white. There is a full color mode and a white phos mode. I want to talk about the full color mode really quick. It is really good for low light stuff, but it struggles to see IR light. Okay, this is no IR. It is pitch black in here. And you could tell there's the stairs we looked at in that first comparison. And let's do some IR light. Remember, this is invisible to everybody who doesn't have night vision. Screen's got to adjust, and yeah, I mean, once you add IR, it's basically perfect. This is full color mode. This really cannot see IR very good. As you can see, we got nothing, and then there's the IR. It's a lot more faint. It's a lot better to use the color modes when you really want to see in the dark. That full color mode is really for low light. And if you want the maximum performance out of this digital night vision device, the best thing to do is either put it in one of the non-color modes, like the green phos, the white and black, or the white phosphor, and not use the color mode. Unless you are just in a low light situation and you just need a little bit of night vision. But when you start getting into really dark situations, the non-color actual night vision modes are going to be the way to go with that. Especially because that color mode really cannot see the IR light. And this being digital, you will be using the IR a little bit more than you would be with an analog PVS 14. So let's go into a little bit more performance review with this. I have taken this out and I actually used it to film some footage of a review I did on another PVS 14 that we have here. And I used it to film because it can film, right on board. And you'll be surprised on how well it really was. This is us like way back in the woods. And I didn't have any IR light going. And right up on me, because I had this sitting on like a table in the woods, just pointing at me while I was shooting. And it really does work really good. The only time you really need to start throwing IR light out there is when you're shooting at 50 or 100 yards or more. But as far as its actual performance, like I said in the beginning of the video, this gets really close to Gen 2 Plus performance. And that is super, super impressive considering the fact that this Gen 2 night vision device, I will say this is about, $2,800 to $3,200. And this can be had for about $550. So, I mean, you are getting closer and closer to analog performance with these digital night vision devices. Not Gen 3, but they're coming up on Gen 2 Plus territory with their digital technology, and that's really impressive to see. Another feature of the digital optic and not a traditional PVS 14 is this has a zoom mode. So this can just actually be used as a magnifier. So you could stick this on the flip-up mount and you can actively just use this as a magnifier. And another thing that's really cool about it is the unit actually, let's see if I can get it to turn on here. Yeah. It shuts off when it's tilted to save the battery. So you can use it as a magnifier and just leave it on your rifle and flip it to the side when you're not using it, and it shuts off, and when you flip it back into place, it works again. So really a cool extra feature. So if you're looking to get into night vision and you don't have a magnifier yet, well, don't waste your money because this acts just like a magnifier. And is a great low light camera. So you really get 2-in-1 with that. You have a low light performance camera and a magnifier, so I could save my money and not buy a magnifier. This does take rechargeable batteries. I don't want to get too far into like crazy tech specs on this thing. I mean, it's just boring. The website lists it all, but these are 18650 rechargeable batteries. And 1 or 2 of these will last a long time. I think with all the filming I did, I only had to charge it up like once. Maybe twice. I don't know. I've been filming for a while with this. But yeah, no issues with those rechargeable batteries. I don't think I'd want it to take like the CR123s or the 123As or anything. This is just going to pull too much power. And those rechargeable batteries they work just fine and they're easy to recharge. DNT has their own charger with those. I have a couple other chargers that takes more, and we have a bunch of those sitting around for just other equipment too. So it's kind of a common rechargeable battery too. So I'm going to give that a plus. All right, I want to wrap this video up. I really enjoyed the NVMD C200. This digital night vision device was super impressive, and as long as I was outside with just a little bit of moonlight, even if it was cloudy, it worked phenomenally. It was really impressive. I've never seen a digital night vision device work as good as this. Again, I'm used to analog, but 2 thumbs way up on this. And this is certainly a good way to get into budget night vision without spending thousands of dollars on an analog unit. It really gets you in the door with some real capability at a great price. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.